What's going on, guys, and welcome back to 365 Analytics. And today is the day that I will be doing my NFL free agency predictions. And today I will be predicting all the landing spots, destination for certain players, re-signs, go over the franchise tags, cover everything that will be starting on Monday with the legal tampering period, and giving you all the insight that you need to know of my predictions and where I think I could see certain players landing, the best landing spots for these guys, and everything about free agency. So if you guys enjoyed, like the video, subscribe, please, would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, plenty of NFL content on the way. March Madness is coming up. Sports world's heating up right now. So yeah, we get plenty of content in the bank right now, and I'm excited to get stuff ready. So yeah, let's start this off. Franchise tags, obviously, this already happened. Earlier today, the day I'm recording this, Jalen Johnson received an extension. He received a 4-year, $76 million extension with the Chicago Bears. But other than that, we said we're gonna go over this quickly. The franchise tags were Higgins, Snead, Allen, Burns, Matabike, Winfield, Pittman, and Duggar got the transition tag from the Pats. The transition tag with he can go into free agency and the Patriots can match any offer that is offered to him from another team. So he's basically a free agent, but the Patriots can bring him back at their discretion if they want to, if he gets another offer. And other than that, they all got franchise tag. Jalen Johnson just got his long-term extension today, so he is locked up with the Chicago Bears long term. So yeah, hopefully Houday, hopefully T. Higgins, either. I don't think they're gonna reach a long-term extension with him, but I really hope they do. Next, the re-sign. These are my predictions. The three that I have had so far: Mike Evans happened a few days ago. Kevin Dotson with the Rams. That happened today, and Dalton Schultz actually got re-signed. I believe it was yesterday by the Houston Texans to a long-term deal, 3 year. He earned his deal with the Texans. So yeah, those are the three that have been re-signed. My predictions outside of those three are, I think Mayfield returns to Tampa, and I think Chris Jones goes back to KC. Those are really the two big ones on this list. I think that Mayfield's gonna reach a long-term deal in Tampa Bay. Yeah, I think he's gonna. I think it's a perfect match. I think he's gonna be there for the long term. Chris Jones, he did tweet something out today on like him celebrating with Andy Reid in Kansas City. But either way, I don't really like pay too much attention to cryptic tweets. I think that Chris Jones will be in Kansas City, and I think that they will reach a long-term extension with him. Yeah. I think it's a match made in heaven. I think they're gonna pull it off. As for some of the other ones, we have Levante David in Tampa Bay as a free agent. I think he's gonna re-sign in Tampa. The veteran there. I just don't see him leaving. Hunter Henry, I think he goes back to Foxborough. Calvin Ridley, I think he ends up back in Jacksonville. Jonathan Grenard, the underrated pass rusher for the Texans. I think that he could be back in Houston. Josh Jacobs, I think he gets re-signed in Vegas for a pretty cheap running back deal because he had kind of a disappointing season last season. I don't think he has much of a market. I think he returns to the Raiders. Gilmore kind of got cooked in the playoffs. I think he goes back to Dallas. Pollard, there was a report that came out yesterday that was saying he would be willing to take less money to stay with the Dallas Cowboys. As for Kenny Moore, I think that he's one of the best nickel cornerbacks in the league, and I think that he's in back in Indianapolis. Frankie Louvu, underrated linebacker. I think will be back to Carolina, and Zadarius Smith. I think will get a pretty cheap deal and be back with the Cleveland Browns next season. So yeah, those are my like. Not every free agent obviously is on this list, but these are, excuse me, some of the notable ones, and that I think will re-sign with the teams they're currently on right now. And obviously, three already happened. The other ones are my predictions for what is going to happen. So now, coming up, we got three tiers of free agents. Like I'm listing tier one, tier two, tier three. Tier one's the top of the top, the best of the best free agents on the market that were not tagged or are predicted to get re-signed. That's what we're going to go over right now. Tier two is like the all right free agents, the mid tier free agents that are pretty notable names and will get some decent amount of money that where I'm predicting where they're going to go. And then tier three is a pretty big list of dudes that Our really solid players will get decent money, but your average person that really doesn't watch football will not know them. So let's start it off with tier one. My predictions for tier one: Christian Wilkins to start it off. The Lions have some cap space. Their defense tackle and nose tackle number one is only McNeil. I think that they are going to be the ones that pull the trigger on the former Dolphins defensive tackle, Christian Wilkins. I think they're going to give this guy an absolute bag. Um, in my opinion, he's the best free agent on the market right now. And I think the Lions have the money. The Lions, it's a need for the Lions defense. And I think he's that Dan Campbell type of player that's going to go out there and be what the Lions need. For Kirk Cousins, if you saw a few videos ago, I predicted every team starting quarterback next year. My prediction for the Denver Broncos starting quarterback was Kirk Cousins, and I'm sticking with that. And I have Kirk Cousins signing with the Denver Broncos. As of Danielle Hunter, the Minnesota Vikings defensive end, I have him going to the Los Angeles Rams, getting a pretty big deal there. Um, I don't see Minnesota. I don't see I don't see Minnesota getting a deal done with him. They haven't yet. There's been trade rumors over the past few years. I don't think they get a deal done there. So yeah. Um, Saquon, I think he ends up in Chicago. I think he's gonna create a good backfield tandem with him, Khalil Herbert, and Roshan Johnson. And I think those three are going to create a pretty nice tandem in the Bears backfield. As for Tyron Smith, the um, the Cowboys franchise left tackle, finally getting out of Dallas and finally hitting the open free agent market. I think he goes to the Jets. I think he's ring chasing at this point in his career. Mekhi Becton's a free agent in New York. I think that the Jets are going to pull the trigger on him. Derrick Henry to the Ravens. I've been saying this forever. I just have a feeling. I mean, it's just a match made in heaven. I think there's been trade rumors about Derrick Henry going to Baltimore for years now, and I think it finally happens here, most likely. And Russell Wilson, who actually just got released, and today it was reported that he is meeting with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I am also sticking with my quarterback, every team starting quarterback next year predictions video, and I'm predicting Russell Wilson to end up in Foxborough and be the New England Patriots starting quarterback in 2024. So yeah, those are my tier one free agents. To recap, Wilkins to Detroit, Cousins to Denver, Hunter to LA, Rams, Barkley to Chicago, Tyron Smith to the Jets, Derrick Henry to the Ravens, and Russell Wilson to the New England Patriots. Tier two, we have some guys here. Patrick Queen, I think, goes to Seattle and reunites with his former defensive coordinator, Mike Macdonald. CJ Gardner Johnson, I think he goes back to Philadelphia and gets out of Detroit. Mike Onwenu, I think he would be a slam dunk for my Bengals. There's a little bit of bias there, but I'm still picking it. Leonard Williams, Arizona Cardinals, they have the money. I think they need the defensive piece. I think they get a pretty big amount of money there. Devin White, people would argue he's not a tier two free agent. He's not that good of a player, but I think if they go to Vegas, Geno Stone, the former Baltimore Ravens safety, New York Giants, and down the line, you see I have Hollywood to Kansas City. I feel like they just need a receiver. He's a speedster. Go KC. DJ Reader at Atlanta Falcons. Much as it pains me to say, I don't see DJ Reader resigning. I think he's going to get some pretty good money, and I think Atlanta will pay him with the loss of Calais Camp. Two guys that were just released very recently. Jordan Poyer, the Bills cleaned house yesterday, or it would be 2 days ago as you guys are seeing this, but as I'm recording, it was yesterday. I think he ends up at Green Bay to replace Darnell Savage and Justin Simmons. I see him replacing Cameron Curl in the Commanders defense after he just got released from the Denver Broncos earlier this morning. So that's my tier two recap to um to recap over Patrick Queen, Seattle, Gardner Johnson, Philadelphia, Mike Onwenu to my Cincinnati Bengals, Williams, Arizona, Devin White, Vegas, Geno Stone, Giants, Hollywood Brown, Chiefs, Reader to Atlanta, Poyer to Green Bay, and Justin Simmons to the Commanders. Here's some other big names, aka Tier 3. And these are this is my last round of predictions. Bryce Huff, I think he screams Baltimore Raven because I think he's a rotational pass rusher. They're gonna be losing Jadeveon Clowney, I think, as you can see on this down the line. I'm going to Carolina. Um, but yeah, I think he's one of the most underrated pass rushers in all of football. and I think he really could be helping Baltimore Ravens pass rush with a nice piece. Kendall Fuller, Pittsburgh, Jonah Williams, New England Patriots. I think he could be a good pickup for them. Tyler Boyd to reunite with Brian Callahan in Tennessee. Noah Fant, I think he'd be perfect for my Bengals. Grover Stewart, I also think he'd be perfect for my Bengals. Great interior D lineman. Chase Young, Minnesota Vikings. OBJ, I finally think he reunites with, not reunites, but he teams up with Aaron Rodgers and he goes to the Jets. Cheeto, I think, goes to Washington. Clowney Panthers, Eckler Panthers, Trent Brown, Tennessee Titans, Robert Hunt to the Pats. Pats have a lot of cap space to work with. I think they're going to go with him. Shaq Barrett to Buffalo, Trey White to Dallas, Mooney to KC to team up with Hollywood, and the last two is being Micah Hyde retirement, Calais Campbell going into retirement. So yeah, you can look at that to recap all of the other big names that I'm predicting to sign with places. These were I just recapped about like 50 free agents in this video. These are like the top 50 free agents, NFL.com, or like it was a good majority of the top 50 free agents. I kind of like went down the lines of big names to the average person. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Um, as I'm recording this Thursday, 3/7, we are very close to March Madness, and brackets will be coming out very soon. More NFL videos, more content coming very, very soon. Like, subscribe if you want. It'd be greatly appreciated. I have a TikTok now. Same thing as my YouTube, 365 Analytics, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. See you next time.